We've got mutant babies,
extreme diets,
dodgy superheroes.
We've even got Freddy on a skateboard.
Is this a nightmare of a movie?
Or is this Freddy's greatest ever sequel?
A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
Hiya guys, and welcome back. Today, we're carrying on with reviewing every single Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Maybe apart from the remake. We may skip that one.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Maybe.
But today, we've got a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child.
Yeah, we watched this the other day. We've obviously seen it years ago.
Yeah.
But we watched it together, which was really cool. And we were both very underwhelmed. And we were this isn't going to be a fun video, is it? I don't think.
I've been dreading this one because I thought so little of it. I was just out of the movie, so I struggled to take funny things away, things to make fun of, things to rave about. Now, there are some cool moments in the film, but overall, I struggled to make notes for this one as interesting things to talk about. It's ruined our good streak because I've always loved the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, but I hadn't seen every single one of them in a while. And 1 to 4, I've had a great time with, considering I never liked Part 2. I enjoyed it in this watch, and Part 4 the same. Ruined our streak, Jenks. I think this is a poor sequel.
And I think even if you don't like Part 4 or Part 2, I just think there's so much to make fun of. There's so much to defend or whatever. The kills are cool. This one was kind of like flat. It wasn't shit enough to poke fun of, and it wasn't good enough to like rave about and say this is a misunderstood gem or something. Yeah.
It's stuck in limbo. Do you know what I mean?
But we'll have to talk about it. Listen,
we got to do it.
If the video's not fun, Curtis, let's just do something else, like juggle or like do like impressions or something.
Can you juggle, Jenks?
I can't.
Because I fucking can't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Let's do something funny. This film was heavily cut, apparently. I was reading about it. Heavily cut. We'll go into detail a bit.
Did they cut Freddy's makeup budget as well?
Well, this is the funny thing about this film. We both noticed that Freddy isn't in it that much.
No.
Like you see when you see clips of it, you think, oh, this is when he went really shit, and he is a bit shit in it, but he's on a skateboard. That's up there with number 6. But he wasn't in much.
Jenks, skateboarding was really in at the time.
Yeah, and number 6, and in Part 6, gaming was really in.
Even though he's a child killer, they still needed to appeal to a younger audience, Jenks. That's what you got to remember here.
Oh, thank fuck they're not making Freddy's now, because he'll be on TikTok. He'll be it'll be like one of those terrible hoverboard things. Can
you imagine Freddy doing a TikTok dance craze?
It would happen.
Freddy flossing.
The sad thing is, we would still watch it, and we would still do it.
If Robert Englund came back, of course.
Well, anyway, the director, the Stephen Hopkins, he hates this film. He hates it with a passion. And even though it's gained a bit of love over the years, because it's not the worst film in the world, he absolutely despises it. Because he's a good director. I mean, I think he did. Did he do Predator 2, didn't he? I'm almost positive.
I can't remember.
But that's become a bit of a cult hit. But let's talk about the return of Alice.
Yep.
Now, Alice was in the 4th one. She was a really good final girl. One of your favourite final girls. And
yes. Yeah.
She's in this film.
She's in this film.
And next topic.
Next topic.
Do you want to give the gist of the plot? I'm yapping about nonsense.
Yeah, of course. So, obviously, with this one, they find a new way to resurrect Freddy.
A new way.
The film, a new way. There's another way, and it's a bit classier than dogs pissing fire. Just a little bit classier.
Yes.
And I've got to say, the opening for this one is probably my favourite thing about the film.
Yeah.
So it welcomes us back into Alice's life, and obviously Freddy's been gone a long time, but she starts getting nightmares again. And it's got a really great opening. Alice has this vision of Amanda Krueger giving birth to Freddy, but this time he's all deformed as if he was born the way he looks now. And he escapes back into the dream world because Alice is having this dream. It's weird. Alice is having a dream of Freddy Krueger's birth, and because they're both in the same place, Freddy escapes out of that dream world back into Alice's. And that's basically how he gets resurrected in this one. And it's a really cool sequence. You go back to the mental institution, Amanda Krueger's back, and it's a really dark, grim opening. I really like it. It's the best thing about it.
It is a good setting because they, in all fairness to Freddy films, they've had the boiler house, which is really cool. Then they had the junkyard, and now they've got the asylum, and it all fits into Freddy's world. So do you know what? We watched it the other day, and I was maybe a bit tipsy, and I had to look on Wikipedia because I forgot what happens, and his spirit attaches to her unborn baby because she's pregnant.
Yes,
and because babies are sleeping all the time, he can haunt their dreams while they're awake. Oh, for fuck's sake!
So
something like that.
He uses Alice's unborn child Jacob to regain his strength, basically.
Yes.
And this bypasses Alice's defences then because he's going direct to her child's dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like that. And I think it was an interesting way to bring Freddy back. It's probably the highlight of the movie, I'd say.
And I would say as well, love or hate these films, right? All 6 of them. Every single one of them does have a different theme. Yes, you got the themes of killing teens and that, but everyone has got its own stamp. Even number 6 has got quite a decent plot where the children of Elm Street have been wiped out and its time has passed. It's a good, interesting idea, just poorly executed. But with this one, you've got Freddy's makeup is not that good. Some shots of it look good in certain lighting. And then other times it looks a bit like dry and just not so good, I don't think.
Yeah, because if you go all the way back to part 2, I know we said this in our part 2 video, it's the best Freddy's ever looked, and it's because his skin is wet and it looks like fresh burns. It looks like his skin is hurting. Whereas this one, his face is so dry. And I think that's a massive problem for Freddy's look. I just don't like that dry look, you know?
He doesn't deliver his lines very well in this one. Nobody goes like, "It's a boy!
It's a boy!"
It's just like, oh,
You sounded just like him then.
It tightens up, like, and I'm like, and I know everyone uses that clip almost like a meme of like, this is where, you know, you can defend for a little bit, and it was obviously the start of shit Freddy, but this is when like, oh, this is not good. Not good at all.
Yeah, and I was really disappointed, and I thought, do you know what? I never really liked part 4 either growing up, and I really enjoyed it on rewatch. I don't think it's the best one by far, but I was sadly disappointed watching this one because I thought I could regain some love for it.
Yes,
you know, and not lose some. But should we talk about just something to talk about? Let's talk about the practical effects.
Yes. So these are always good in Freddy films, in all fairness.
Yeah,
you've got some decent kills. So her friends are basically her boyfriend Dan, and he gets killed via motorbike robot.
He gets turned into a motorbike, basically.
that's so much better. Yeah, sorry.
Well, I was actually going to talk about this one because I thought it was a cool effect. Now, it may be a bit silly, but it was a very well done scene. It's a cool effect. I love that, like, the dashboard of the motorbike turns into Freddy's face and he's talking to him. And then all the components from the motorbike start wrapping around his legs and infusing into his skin.
Yes.
And I like the shot of him fully infused into the bike flying down the road. Now, that was very well done. Now, that was a highlight for me. I opened this video, right, by saying how much I was disappointed in it, and I just keep saying highlights of the movie. So, did I enjoy it? Did I not? I don't know. Maybe I just didn't like it as much as the other 4.
Do you know what that scene reminded me of when he's on the bike and all the wires going into him? Superman 3. When
I've
that
never seen
woman...
Superman 3.
Well, are you aware of the scene I'm talking about?
No.
This woman falls into the machine and all the wires go into her.
God, it seems dark, doesn't it, for a Superman film?
When you do a bit of editing, chuck it in.
Yes,
because it is horrific. So his death apparently was another heavily cut scene where it was really going nastily into his face. So Dan is, like I said, Dan is from the last film. You've got Greta, her friend, the sexy friend.
She's got a good death.
Really good death. So she's a bit of an
aspiring model.
Yes, and she's to be thinner, and he force feeds her. But the cut scene is force feeding her insides, her guts. You don't see it in the film, but he's literally. I saw the deleted scene, and her guts are open. He's feeding her kidneys.
So, why exactly did they cut this so much, considering how violent the other ones are? Why did they feel the need to cut this so much? Do you know?
Not sure. It was just, I think it just was going to get not an like a, what's it called? Not an R rating, like a
X, like X rating, isn't
something
it?
like that, yeah.
Because it's weird to me. I feel like maybe this was the biggest problem in the movie. I say maybe, it most definitely was, in it. Like, if you cut loads out of a film, it's gonna affect the final product, like.
Yeah. 100%.
And this is what happens when you get too much studio interference. I didn't know about that, actually, Jenks. I didn't know about that many scenes being cut. But yeah, I'll definitely have to check those deleted scenes out.
Do you know Alice now? Alice goes out with Dan and he dies and she gets over it really quick. And she's pregnant with his it's not just like, he's not just a fling. She's pregnant with his child, and it's so matter-of-factly like, he's dead, and then that's it.
He's dead.
I know it's like an 80-minute
film.
I know it's like an 80-minute film. Look, I've got time to grieve. It's 80 minutes. It's the 80s. We gotta do these films quick.
Yeah. What if like he gives the script into the studio, and there's a good like 30 minutes of her grieving, and the studio like, we can give you 5 minutes. That's it.
Yeah,
we'll give you five or nothing. That's it. That's all you're having.
off screen crying. Oh, I cried. You cried earlier. You sure you heard me. Woo! But no, where a crying I was. Better now though. Yeah. So, and her friends. Oh yeah, I did. She was crying a lot. Yeah. No.
I can back her up on this one.
Yeah. Seriously. No. I swear to God. Should we talk about right at the time when I watched this as a kid? Well, I'm still into superheroes, but you had Mark, a friend. Apparently, he's a straight bloke. He's not straight in it at all, is he? And he's hanging around with girls. So he's like into his comic books, and he's a brilliant artist. He gets sucked into the comic exactly like Aha song "Take on Me." Same effect.
Yeah.
You could say it's a homage, a rip-off, who knows? They were both in the 80s, but obviously Take On Me was first. And he becomes the superhero from his comic. Now, as a kid, I was telling everybody, oh my God, Freddy 5's the best. This comes a badass with his guns. And you're rewatching it, it's not so good. You know?
It's foggy child eyes.
Yes. Foggy child, I like that. And then Fred, he becomes this like villain, isn't he? Even though he's already a villain, he becomes a muscly villain.
Yeah, I'm the biggest culprit of foggy child eyes. There's so many movies. You know, I used to love Snakes on a Train.
Not Snakes on a Plane, different.
No, it was a rip-off, right? It was one of those cheap movies that came out on the back of a big movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it since, but I've watched clips on YouTube. And
terrible,
I used to watch, I'd be like, oh my God, this is the best film ever. It's fucking awful.
Now, why do I want to watch that film now? But yeah, his look, Freddy's played by a different guy when he's a muscle man. It's not makeup. I think it's just some like juicer. And he does look quite cool, but the guy's death is shit. He gets cut up by the papers. Do you remember?
Yeah, of course. And there's no blood or nothing. It's just a quick.
Yeah, and then when it cuts to the real world, you just see his hand with some blood, and like, right, okay.
Probably another cutscene, to be fair.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
Look, we need gruesome deaths. As morbid as it sounds, if you're watching a movie like that, we want cool deaths.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what was so great about 4. It was a weaker movie, but it had awesome deaths.
Yes.
Violent as well.
I mean, look at Tina's death in the first one. Like, how come if this was going to get banned, how come that's not banned? That death is gruesome.
So nasty.
Should we talk about number 1 instead?
Should we hijack this video or just start again?
Right. Should we talk about the ending?
Yes, let's do it.
No. All I'm going to say is Labyrinth.
Yeah. All day.
What a rip-off.
Oh my God. Homage, rip-off, I don't know, but the exact same ending as Labyrinth. It's even her, well, it's her brother Toby in Labyrinth, but it's her with a child, Freddy, trying to take over the child. It's the same thing. But we get to the finale and basically Freddy gets railed. He gets a good old 3-way from Alice, Amanda and Jacob. The 3 of them team up together in the dream world to take Freddy down. Not the weakest ending, to be fair. It's quite cool. I love the little team up. Charlie's Angels type thing, you know. Girl power and little old Jacob. I was going to say something really nasty then. I'm not going to say it.
Is it a pedo joke?
No.
We have one per video usually, don't we?
What if you met your kid who was like already 5 years old and you're like, oh fuck, he's quite annoying, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Because he is annoying, isn't he?
Yeah, especially
he's
when
an annoying little boy.
He becomes Fred. He's like, come on. He's talking like Fred. He's got that kid voice shit. Yeah.
Go on.
So the
Save
Labyrinth.
me.
I googled when Labyrinth came out. 86 it came out, right?
Yeah.
I think. And I thought, okay, this is not a homage because this came out 3 years later. A homage would have to be a lot of time passed and all this love of Labyrinth. Labyrinth was a big flop.
I know,
when it came out. So there's no way they thought, oh, let's just do it because it's so cool. It's like, no. You fucking nicked it. You nicked it. 100%.
Oh, 1,000,000%. It follows all the same beats. But yeah, we end up, Freddy basically gets sucked back into his mother's womb. And that's how they kill him in this one. Again, pretty cool, to be fair. So yeah, Amanda Krueger, which is Freddy's mother, she basically opens her legs and just sucks him right on back.
Oh, Jesus, good.
That's what happens.
That's worse than anything in the film.
I didn't write the script.
That's disgusting.
I'm just reporting, that's all.
Yeah, don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah. Personally, I would have changed it a little bit. I would have changed that ending. Disgusting.
It is, but it is an ending, and
it's an ending.
It's an ending. We usually do like what's your favourite bits, but I don't think we're going to do that today.
No, I would just say to cap it off overall. So far, this is my least favourite Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Let's just pretend this is the first time I've watched them all. Yeah. And so far, part 5 is easily my least favourite Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Yeah, roll on part 6.
Yes, and, you know, there's Alice survives at the end with a baby, and her friend, which I can't remember the name, she survives, and she's the least nice friend. She's a bit of a dick in it. The other one with the eating disorder was nicer. But... yes, check it out. It's not the worst film in the world.
No, it's not.
That's my tagline. It's not the worst film in the world. Stephen Jenkins. Right. If you enjoy horror reviews, rankings, please subscribe and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.